Hey guys. So, you might still hear some nose breathing, but I'm trying to position the mic to where it's minimal where you'll hear it a little bit, but hopefully not like it's going to blast your ears out like that. See? You're probably going to hear a sound. I don't hear it when I'm recording. I hear it on playback. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, I'm liking the headset. It's very lightweight, but that's not what this is about. I sat my parents down and we all watched Godzilla Minus One together. And as usual, my dad slept through like more than half of it, but that's what I come to be expected of him when it comes to movies is he just falls asleep. So, it's not because it's boring, he just can't stay awake. But my mom watched it and she really liked it. I'm like, you see why it won an Oscar? She's like, yep, because the visual effects. And it begins this scene. I told her this is what December last year felt like for me. And I think that gave her pause. But, sitting there watching this movie with them after telling them this is a picture of how I felt last year. Because the ironic thing is that when I went to see Godzilla Minus One in theaters, when I came out of it, I thought, oh, my life is looking up. I feel like it's going to be okay and things are going to look up. And then less than 2 weeks later, I had to have my Catman put down. And then there was a whole disaster of Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve just in rapid succession. It really felt like living through Godzilla Minus One. Maybe not so much with destruction and war, but just in terms of personal loss and trauma. And, as expected, my dad missed most of it because went off and fell asleep on me, and I kept been bumping on his leg and waking him up because I was sitting on the bed. So I would just, like, smack his leg, wake him up. But it's just so typical of him to just not see those things about me. He only sees the behavior and then reacts to the behavior rather than what's causing it, what's behind it. But I think my mom's thinking about it. I think she is deep in thought because I told her the end of that movie. When they go to the hospital and there's Noriko. And you know how Shikishima kind of starts bawling right there. It's that feeling of there is a life beyond this trauma, and that's what surviving my suicide attempt was like. And then I had to go to my psychiatrist, get on the sertraline, and then I went into therapy, and it's like there is a life beyond trauma. And I'm glad I was able to show that to my parents, even though my dad did as usual fall asleep on me. He at least saw some of it. But we watched the English dub because neither of my parents could stand subtitles. I really would wish they could have watched it in Japanese, but they would have lost interest. So I wanted to make sure that they could hear everything and not be worrying about reading and stuff because my dad's eyesight is just so bad. He's got double vision because of the Parkinson's and it makes it really hard for him to see things properly. So subtitles would have been very difficult for him. But my parents have seen Godzilla Minus One, and they sat and watched it with me. And I got emotional just as I did the first time I saw it. Not quite as deeply, but still, I did cry a bit. I still kind of emotional, but they saw it. They saw the movie. I'm so grateful that I got it for Christmas. I was able to share that with them. And I just hope they think about it. So, this year is so different from last year. I feel like Christmas this year has been so healing. Christmas this year is almost like the end of Godzilla Minus One in the hospital too, because instead of being more disaster, we got through it, and it was nice. The food was nice, the gifts were nice, and we're all here. We're all still here. And so was Norco. The end of Godzilla Minus One. But my parents have seen Godzilla Minus One, and I'm glad for that. And I'm glad to be here. And if you're struggling, I'm glad you're still here. And I hope you'll still be here. And for everybody who didn't make it to this point, this end of this year of 2024, you will be remembered and you will be loved. And wherever your spirit is, I hope it's peaceful. Love you guys.